Hi guys, Christine here. Welcome to this tutorial. I'm going to show you kung paano gamitin ang Anow Appraisal database management software or application. Um, this tutorial is not for every or all virtual assistant. This is great for you to learn kung ikaw ay isang VA that you are assisting somebody or a company that is related with real estate, real estate or property appraisals, or anything that is related to property. So particularly, this software na ipapakita ko, which is Anow, we call that Anow, is great for appraisal inspections. Okay? So like ako, nagwo-work kasi ako sa isang appraisal company. And one of my job is to schedule appointments. So itong application na papakita ko sa inyo, itong Anow, you can actually use them or you can actually use this application for scheduling, for researching property, for basically it's a database for the company too, so you don't have to use a calendar or Google Calendar. Okay, it's up to you kung gusto mo siyang gamitin with Google Calendar, but you don't have to. And meron din siyang messaging system. Okay, ang I will also show you how to cancel orders. Okay, so this application is great for people who is handling scheduling, okay, for uh, property appraisals, like I said, okay. And what's great about this application, A now, is or this database management system is lahat nandun na siya. Naka-centralize lahat yung iyong data, okay, from the property information to contacts to clients to even documents. So you can all upload your documents here as well. So ang unang-una kong ipapakita, I will show you how I use the application from the time that I receive an order. Okay, and then if in case that we have to edit or we have to cancel orders, I will also show you that. Okay, so without further ado, again, this is Christine Nance and welcome to this tutorial. Okay, so let's begin. So here you will see, okay, now I am inside now, A now, okay, and by the way, this application is a paid application. So it's not free. So your company should have this, or your company should subscribe to this account, okay? So basically, let me put that together here. So basically, when you have the account with this company A now, okay. So it's a matter of just setting up and then logging in, okay. So let's pretend that you already got all this, okay, and you are ready to use it. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to do, I'm going to zoom it out just so you could see this information here. Okay, and I will tell you a bit about the feature here, what I use all the time. Okay, so this is also set up already with the information about the company. So that is the first thing that you need to do here, is to set up your preferences. Okay, to set up the preferences, that which means your what do you need notifications for. So it's basically how to control the information that you're going to that you want to see in the form. Okay, so it's like a form actually. And so you would also want to set here what you want, how you want to be notified okay, with all the changes and whatever you're gonna do or any activity na mangyayari inside A now. Okay, so this is just the preference. So I set it up for all email. Okay, and so when you go to settings and this is your time zone. So wherever your time zone is, I am using this time zone. I am on America Chicago time zone. Okay, and so that's set to that. And I also turned on the calculate driving distance based on the address. This is so that when you set the location, um, later you will see that when we search for the address, it the system can actually tell you um, how far that is from your headquarters. Okay, and display the app tour on page load. So it's just an app tour. Okay, that's like for the system only. So my dashboard here, you see these fields. These are all the fields or maybe the forms that we created na gusto naming makita. Okay, dun sa form namin because these are the data or the information that we need to enter to this database. Okay? So, makikita mo yan lahat dyan. Right now, they're just fields. Okay? So, it's just a matter of, what you call this? If I would have to do this, it's a matter of adding them. Okay? So, for example, if I'm not gonna, okay, let me see here. I just want to show you how I did that. Okay, so orders. Okay, so now if we go to, so that's the preference. If you go to the users, okay, this is where you can add a user. Now, mind you, the more users you assigned here, you add a user, you will have to pay for each user. Okay, so this is not free. So if I will have to add somebody here, okay, another assistant, if we ever hired another assistant, I will have to add, we have to pay extra $35 per month. Okay, so it's not really cheap. And so when you're, for example, as based on my experience, when you get hired to do this job and you accepted the job, okay, and this is what you're gonna do, you have to remember that the employer will have to pay extra for you to use this. And so when you then later on, if you really are not decided to do this job, just don't take the job right away. Okay, because it will cost the employer money. Okay, so it's not non-refundable. Okay, when they paid for the first month, it's non-refundable. Okay, so you have to think about your employer as well. Okay, so that is that adding user. And let me just see here what else we have here. So um, import tool insights. Okay, so we could see the insights here. These are just when you want to download some reports. Okay, now we're not going to look at this part. Basically what we're going to do here is enter some orders. Okay, so we're just gonna, you could see some of the menus here. You could see orders and you will, these are the view. Okay, so you would see all the orders here. If you click analytics, you would see based on analytics if you want to view by appraiser, by client. Okay, so these are just analytics for you. Okay, and if you click on calendar, you would see all the orders that has been the orders that have been scheduled, so you can view it by month. Okay, or let me see here. If we move here, okay, I don't know why you can't see anything right now. Okay, it's for the reason that I only have unscheduled appraisals. It's because they're not yet scheduled. Okay, which means it's not yet entered the their, which means their appointment schedule hasn't been entered. Okay, or we're not entered because the truth is I'm not using the calendar here. I'm still using the calendar in Google. Okay, so we're gonna look at that later. So next is the map. Okay, and in here you will just, you could search, for example, if I want to search, I will this show you this as well. If I search for a property, um, then you could see it on the map over here. Clients, if you wanna see all your clients, you can view that as well. And if you wanna click on comparables, but which we don't really enter the comparables here, that is an add-on as well, by the way. But we're not using this feature right now. So we're just gonna look, and this is new. The button new is what we're gonna use whenever we want to add an order. Okay, so first, let's just go to orders tab. Okay, and you see here there are some more filters here. Okay, and you got the open, in progress, and client revisions. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I am going to enter, let's say I receive a new order. And so I'm going to get all that um, information from an email or a purchase order or an order that we have received from the client. For example, let's open one. Okay, so here I just received this. All right, and I am going to open this. All right. Well, it wouldn't open. So let's just take it from here. Okay, I don't need, actually, let me just take that here. Ah, that is really weird. Okay, never mind. Let's just use an existing order which we received the last time. Okay, so I'm gonna open the order. Okay, and in here you will see this details. Okay, and that's what we're gonna enter here on our order form. Okay, so first we're gonna take the address. So let's say I got this address, and we're gonna create, first thing we're gonna click is new, and the form will open. You're gonna paste that address here, and it will automatically search for it. Okay, so we just select, so there's so many options here in different states, so of course you have to take whatever the state you're looking for. Okay, so I'll just select that, and you have to make sure na tama yung suffix nyo for street name. Is it court, drive? Okay, so because there could be the same number, same street name, but different suffix. Okay, so make sure it's the same thing as your order. Okay, so click natin yan. And it says no duplicate found. It means I haven't entered this address yet. Okay, so legal description, we just skip that. Okay, and we're gonna go to who ordered the report. So of course, whoever ordered the report. So you see, with our company, client is different, lender is different. The client is the company that send us the order. The lender is the company or organization that will loan the money. So this client is actually, or this Frisco is actually a distribution system. So our direct client is Frisco. Um, this client, or FLS's client, is the lender. So we're gonna put that, they're two different things. Okay, so i-enter ko dito who ordered the report. So obviously ang nag-order sa amin is Frisco. Okay, so we're gonna put there Frisco. If it's a new client, you can create new after you type it up. For example, it's but because this has been our client, it's already registered, so I'll just select that. Otherwise, if it's new, then I will say create new. Okay, so client number, if there's any, the reference number, So the reference number should be right here, file ID. Okay, and we enter that. And what type of loan is that? Okay, so we have three ways. I will just select what is for this particular order, and this is conventional, it says, because it's a lending company. Okay, it's not a it's not the VA, the Veterans Affairs, not government. So this is a private company. So we say conventional. Okay. If even if it's a bank, it's also conventional. And next is we're gonna do the loan number. Loan number is right here. So you just enter that. If it's FHA case, which means it's a special type of inspection, they require more things to be inspected if it's FHA case. Okay, let's see if this is one. If there's no indication that it's FHA, usually it will say here, so it's not. Okay, next is VA. This is not VA, this is regular or private company, it's not Veterans Affairs. So report type is the type of report right here. It will under the description. So it's FNMA, it's 1004. You just look for the number. So we're gonna enter or select 1004 because it has been used before. Again, who is the report addressed to? The first one is who ordered the report. So this is the appraisal distributor, distribution management. While who is the report addressed to? We're gonna address it to the lender because they are actually the one who needs this. Okay, they're the one who ordered this through the Frisco distribution system to us. Okay, so we're gonna put here now the uh, the lending company. Okay, so I'm just gonna select that. It says Fairway. Okay, and next is whoever is the owner. So we're gonna put it here as the owner. Just copy paste it, and if they have a number, okay, if not, so this is the borrower or the owner. Actually, this is for purchase, so it means this borrower is the buyer. Okay, and the property contact could be the homeowner. Okay, so you have to make sure which one is which. So we're gonna copy the contact as the could be the listing agent. Okay, so we're just gonna take that. So here, because it says on the form either property owner, if this is the property owner or the borrower, so you have to put it on a you have to put it on a proper or appropriate field. So here, contact for access is we're using a listing agent. Every time it's a purchase, definitely there's an agent. Okay, it's very seldom that there's no agent. Okay, so next is that's it. That's the only information that we need there, and plus we need this amount. So it's 400 goes to the appraiser fee. That's all we need to put there. We don't need the admin fee because that doesn't go to us. So here 400 would be the amount. More things needs to be added here. So number for under analytics, this is a purchase. It says on the form, and it is an AMC. AMC is appraisal management company who's supplying this to us, and either is residential or condo. So let's see what it says here. It says here that it's a how do we know it's a residential? Because it's 1004. If it's a condo, it's 1073. Okay, so we're gonna say residential. Okay, then we're going to select the appraiser, which is already been entered before. If not, then we have to type a new one. We say add. Okay, for example, I wanna say Christine. For example, it's a new. If I wanna add that, I'm gonna have to add it here. Okay, but It's not. We're not going to add a new one. So we'll just select whoever is already here. So next is, so we already got this, don't need to be changed. We're using that template, and the amount, okay? And then the appointment. So if you haven't set the appointment yet, okay? Well, with this, I believe I have already. So that's the, let me search that on the calendar, the Google Calendar, which I'm using, and I'll see when I scheduled that. So it says November 12th. It's actually over now because today it's November 17th, but I am just entering this on the system, okay? So because I wanted to do this tutorial. So let's say November 12th, and it was on 11, it was on a 12 and 11 a.m. So we're going to just say 11 a.m. And the due date, whatever is says there on the form, 11:25, so that's November 25, and 5 o'clock. We don't change that anymore. And when is this ordered? When you receive this order. So for us, this is the reference number. So I know that this was received on November 11. Okay, so I'm just going to select November 11, doesn't matter the time. And if it's a rush order, you have to mark that. If not, leave it alone. And then you say add property. And when this opened, so when this opens, it should show here what is the, let's say, created. I'm going to search for the latest creation here, or the, let me see, assigned. Okay. Okay, if I don't see it here under created, okay, so the latest one, it says created is October 20. So it means this is the last job that has been entered here. Okay. So anyway, so let's find that what I have. Let me find that here. There it is. Okay. So on the file number, I will have to change this according to the file number that's on my outer drive. Okay. So I'm just gonna correct this. So 1111 003. Okay. And so here, if this job, this is actually set already. And you could see, let me show you this part is you will see the address, the property address. And below that, you will see the reference number. The report type is there, everything that you entered earlier. This is where you'll find the appraiser. So this is a quick overview of what you have entered. And order date is there. Okay. And here you will see it, the workflow, it automatically, as you filled up information, it will automatically check those boxes or workflow list. So if you have created this you have to do it manually because we don't have a folder here. So I'm just gonna create that because all these are actually done already. Okay, so let's just say, for example, that you haven't scheduled the appointment. Of course, this is not going to be the inspection, you have to just leave it out. But if you have already scheduled that, there is a box underneath. It says inspection complete. And yes, it was. Okay. So we have just checked that. And so we could check it here as well. Have we, so all this workflow, actually, we have created this as to how we want our workflow, okay, to go. So I'm just going to check all this because it has been submitted as well. So this job is already complete. If it hasn't been completed, just for example, that you just opened up this job, okay, because you have to actually enter it here before you actually start on the job. As soon as you receive it, you enter it here because this is your database. And then after you have set the appointment or even not yet, okay, you're going to click on start. Okay, so it means it already has started. When you click on that, it will activate the time it is due and from the appointment. Okay, so I'm gonna check all this, and here on the right you will see how much was the report fee is. Okay, and down below here, below the appointment date and the due date, you will see more information if you have them, but this is after it's been done. For example, the tenancy, if you want to do that, but we don't really add those except for this, like for example, appraised value. If you want to add everything here, the contract value, but we don't add those anymore. But if your employer wants you to add them, well, you can take all this contract value from the order itself, or you can take it from the purchase contract that is going to be provided to you by the employer. Okay, sorry, the employer or the client rather. And closing date if it's necessary, but we don't really add this information anymore. Okay, so, but if you want to, they're all ready to be entered here. Okay. Um, Tags, I don't really use that. Now here, this is important. So the contacts are down below. And in here, for example, you want to download all this information with your contacts, you can actually take all this, okay, when you download the report. Okay, so another thing here down below is order notes. If you want to, sometimes when after the appraisal, after we have submitted the report, sometimes they would come back for corrections, for revisions. This is where you can enter it. Okay, you just add the note, blah blah blah, and then add note. Okay, and here to the right, you would see attached file. So once everything else is done, you can upload all the files here, just so it's all centralized. Actually, if you're using this, you don't need to have um, outer you don't need any more like using Google Drive or any other cloud drive, okay, because you can put it here. However, we don't, or I don't put everything here. Okay, it's because I don't know until when we're gonna use this, so we still secure that in or on our Google Drive. Okay, but you can. All right, it says here only visible to admin staff. Okay, they wouldn't see this unless, or of course, the people who are controlling, not controlling, the technical support for this platform. Okay, and every task that has been done here, or the activity, you would see it here. Okay, and so that's just how you add a job or an order on a now. Okay, now for example, the job has been canceled. Okay, what if it's been canceled? So all you have to do is here, you can see the status menu here and just select canceled. Okay, if it's complete, you just hit complete here, or you could also mark it complete here. So I'm gonna mark this complete because this job has actually been let me make sure, yes, it has been submitted. So I'm just gonna mark it complete and say, are you sure you want to mark this complete? Yes. Okay, and as you can see, it did not say 100% because you have to manually check some of those boxes. Okay, and that's it, it's already done. So we set it to complete. Now again, if you want to just cancel the job, or let's say it's been put on hold, all you have to do is click this arrow down button and select the status. Okay, and so you would see that here. What I love about this application is, of course, from the beginning, I would enter all this and it will tell me if here I could quickly see one has not been set, the due date. As long as the appointment is set, the due date is good to enter that as well, so that you know if it's already due. Okay, and you would see some red warning sign here. Okay, if there's anything that is due. Also, you can use this quick filter right up here. So if I want to say the new unstarted, it says unstarted, you see, because if you don't click that started or a start button, it will not be filtered as, it means you haven't started that job yet. So it's always good to click that start. See, and you could also, it will also only select that. If I want to say accepted, it will also select only the accepted. Let's say I want to know what orders are overdue. I could just click here, okay? But right now there's nothing, okay? And so that's how you add, edit, and um, add, edit, and close an order at Anow. Okay. So if you have any questions, what else that I want you to see here? Um, for example, you want to run a report. Okay. So for example, I want to get all the reports that has been done for a specific time. Okay, so if I would go to, let's say here, I'm gonna go for, let me say here, I think it's, is it insights? I think it's insights. Okay, and I wanna get the report from January time tracking. So January, so starting January, download report by orders, download report by user. So I want by orders, okay? Beginning January. There you go. It just came. This is for January only. But if I want to use a specific time, for example, January to November, I could download here the net earnings. Okay, if I want to go on revisions, what revisions has been made, here is just basically time tracking. So if we open that file that I just downloaded for January, this is a CSV file, or it's like an Excel sheet. It's a sheet. Okay, and you will see the standard reports. Okay, which has been done for January only, I believe. Okay. So if I want to say created date, or what I want to use, range it or filter it as completed date, that's also good. So from here, for example, I want to view all the, let me go to analytics here. Okay. That is to download the report. But if you just want to see it, how many jobs have you had so far for this year? So I'm going to set that here for the last year, last 12 months. Okay. Or say this year to date. Okay. And it will show me how many orders we had. It says unpaid because we don't really click paid here. But it says here 136, and this is how much has been billed. Okay. So pretty much here you could see the analytics of all the orders, which is great, right? If I want to say last 12 months or last year, apply. So last year we had 378. Let me do this again because I don't think it updated on me. Let me see just to make sure. Yeah, I knew it. It didn't update because I didn't hit apply. So this year we had 343 orders, okay, which is pretty great. Okay, and that's how much it has been billed. Okay, um, so that's it. Calendar. If you want to use the calendar, basically what you need to do is, I think you have to, um, let's say you want to enter it here. Let me see. If I would go to orders, I just want to show you because I never really use the calendar here. Okay. Let me see if I will see, if you click on here, you say click view, quick view, you will see the summary here. Okay. Um, those are the complete ones. So these are not updated yet. Okay, let me close that because what I want to see is the calendar. Let me click on one and it should say on calendar, because if I would enter something here, it should have told me whether there is any conflict. This is what I like about this. If I happen to schedule another job in the same time as this, it will tell me that there's a conflict. This is why this is one thing that I love about uh, this application. Now, for example, the client came back with another order, but it's now for a final inspection. And instead of me typing all this again, all I have to do is open this file and then click on this option here and say clone this order. If I say clone here, it will open a new file, like duplicate it. So clone means duplicate. It's gonna duplicate it, and all I have to do is change the reference number. Of course, you have to have a new reference number for when you receive that order. And so I'm not going to change all this because it's the same thing. It doesn't matter even if it says there's potential duplicates found. I'm not going to change all this because it's the same reference number. The only thing I'm going to change here is the amount, okay, because final inspection is different. So I would say 150. And then the appointment date, the new appointment date. For example, we have submitted this already, and then now I'm going to set it for a different date. And when is the due date? I would just say set this for 3 days after, for example. And the order date is, I'm going to set this to today, okay? Hang on, my computer just hung on me. Okay, so I'm gonna close that. Let me refresh the page. hmm Okay, it just hung on me. Ay nako, sira na naman.